having the ability to bring new music by living composers to life is just makes me feel like I'm having an impact on the world in some small way, and that's
Yeah.
what we all strive for, right? So,
Yeah, exactly. I want to get your definition, and I know that this is a very sensitive topic specifically for Ear Taxi Festival, but I want to get your definition of new music. When we talk about that in the classical world, sometimes it means like
yeah.
contemporary, sometimes it means modern. What, in your opinion, or even just from your experience, is new music?
That's a great question, and I feel like I'm in a position that where like I've answered this question a lot in part
Yeah.
because I run an organization in Indianapolis. I'm actually
Oh,
currently
wow.
in Indianapolis. I run an organization in Indianapolis that's dedicated to new music, or what I
Okay.
call is the music of our time.
Ah,
So for me, my active definition of new music is music that is being created
mhm,
by living composers, living artists,
mm,
and not just composers, but living artists
right.
as a reflection of the times that they're living in.
Wow.
So the music of our time, and
Yeah.
and you know, my definition is fairly vague because then you could say like I am a living concert pianist and I'm currently working on the Beethoven Fourth Piano Concerto.
Right.
Therefore, that is the music of our time because it's a fresh interpretation. And so there is a little bit of a gray area,
Yeah.
but I think I leave that gray area there specifically because
Hmm.
I think what is unique about this time that we're living in
Yeah.
is that there's much more of a focus, and you know this very well based on your role with Ear Taxi. There's much more of a focus not on the public good, on music going out and showing people what a real whatever, I don't know, elitist. Let's
Mm,
just call it what
yeah.
it is. There's
Yeah.
there's there's no more emphasis on elitist. Now
Hmm.
the music of our time is looking to create inclusivity in a way that every person, every
Yeah.
human being can see themselves reflected in a part of the music of our time. And so for
Yeah.
me, that's the working definition because it excludes no one and
Hmm.
it creates an open door where people can say, I listen to punk rock most times, but I really dig the music of Clarice Assad,
Right.
Augusta Reed Thomas, whoever,
Hmm.
Sean O'Pebble, whoever that composer
Right.
is. So yeah, that's my sort of working definition. Sort of my MO as an artist anyways. I really emphasize the work of living female composers because I am a living female artist and I
Right.
understand the added challenges both for artists and composers of color
Right.
and specifically for artists and composers, female artists and composers of color.
Right.
So
Hmm.
I try to use my platform to create space for those voices to be heard on a
Right.
broader platform. So I started with the past, and there are two amazing Black female composers from Chicago, Margaret Bonds and Florence Price.
Yes. Yes.
And Margaret Bonds, I spent a great part of the pandemic working on a lot of her art song and solo piano music. So I said, now maybe it's time to pass the baton, as far as I'm concerned, to Florence Price. And so I chose this short piece that's called the Fantaisie Nègre, number
Hmm.
4. She has 4 Fantaisie Nègre. And this one is just, her music is so neo-romantic and expressive and I just would have loved to have sat down at a dinner table with this woman and like asked her what's on her side table, like what are you reading? What are you listening to? Because she is such a powerful voice.
Yeah.
And the disgusting history, excuse me for saying it, but the disgusting history of this country has meant that she was not respected and not valued in the way, and her music was not respected and valued
Hmm.
in the way it should be. So I look at this as an opportunity to perform a piece by a composer who now, in the past 18 months, has gotten much more acclaim than she is due, but a
Right.
piece that probably none of the Ear Taxi Festival audience members have heard before because it's
Right.
relatively underplayed compared to her piano sonata in E minor, for
Yeah.
example.
This is a brilliant, brilliant program. Thank you so
Yep.
much for putting it together with so much thought and care.
Thank
I think you mentioned something that Augusta Reed Thomas says where she, composes music to express her gratitude. And I think it's, to be an artist almost feels like you're giving something.
Yes.
You're sacrificing or giving something so that people have an opportunity to experience something different,
Yeah.
to feel something that they may not have felt before. And
Yeah.
I think that this program is going to do exactly that.
Thank you.
So you're actually performing, I believe, on the first day,
I am. I'm
the first
second in
full
the
day,
lineup. I
my
am. Yes.
goodness, of
Yes.
the Ear Taxi Festival. And this day, this performance is at the Kehrein Center, which is in the Austin neighborhood here in Chicago. And it's such a like exciting opportunity, I think, for Ear Taxi Festival to bring, the opening day to the Austin community. Can you tell me a little bit about what you think about just your ability or your opportunity to bring this music to that community?
Well, I would say that, I don't know the Austin community too terribly well, which I
Yeah,
think is really exciting because it's an introduction for both of us. We're sort of
right.
meeting in the middle, and that's part of that idea of generosity. It's that they're teaching me something and I'm learning from them and teaching them something,
Yes.
about this area, this program that I've become an expert in.
Mhm.
Um, I'm really excited to be following Picosa, which is really great. So some
Yes.
fabulous chamber music with Your Taxi's own Jenny O'Brown, which is wonderful. And I would say that is, to sort of just continue what I started saying, that's part of the excitement of being an artist who has roots somewhere but still acknowledges that they have so much to learn.
Right.
I have roots in Chicago. The pandemic has pushed me in an area, a region that is outside of Chicago in Indianapolis, but shares much of the sort of space for artistic entrepreneurship and growth,
Mhm.
has a very similar palette of diverse cultures and diverse people here that I really love and that I appreciate first and foremost about Chicago. And so I'm coming with a fresh set of experiences and fresh set of, hopes and dreams, I guess, that I look to communicate through this program. And the audience is there and is, I use the term vibrating with me. And so I'm going to be reacting to the
Yeah.
energy that they're putting into the hall. And, thank goodness that we're back in person and that we've all managed to stay healthy because this is what we missed when we were doing all of these things virtually. And so just the opportunity, this won't be my first in-person concert back after 2020, but it will be one of the first
Right.
and on the greatest platform that I've had to date of
Yeah.
from since the pandemic shut us down. And I'm just excited to see how they respond and I can't wait to express my gratitude through the
Yeah.
music.
I'm really excited. I think it's the opening day is just like showstopper after showstopper after
Oh,
showstopper.
amazing.
So I'm really looking forward to it, and I know you're going to be brilliant. So thank you so much for sharing this program with us in advance. For those of you who may be watching this video, Clare Longendyke plays on Thursday, September 30th at the Kehrein Center at 12:30, and you do not want to miss this performance.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to chat and to give me a platform to talk about my artistic mission and how it aligns with Ear Taxi. I really appreciate it, LaRob.
Yes, of course, Claire. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.